The gun is made almost entirely of plastic. It's capable of firing a .380 caliber bullet. And almost every single component was made using a 3D printer, bought from eBay for merely $8,000. This new generation gun is called the Liberator, and it was developed by Defense Distributed.
We wanted to use a 3D printer to print a gun and release the file as open source.
That's the voice of Cody Wilson, the group's co-founder. He made waves earlier this year after successfully firing the gun. The sound quickly reverberated in the halls of Congress. Wilson's demonstration prompted fear from politicians that criminals would be able to arm themselves in the future by printing guns in their basement, something that became particularly easy after file-sharing sites published the gun's blueprint online. But this week, those concerns were mitigated as Congress voted to extend the Undetectable Firearms Act, which effectively bans the sale or possession of firearms that aren't detectable by X-ray machines or metal detectors. And that means guns cannot be 100% plastic. For at least 10 more years, they'll be mandated to include steel components. But it seems that the plastic gun is not the only innovation Congress will have to keep its eye on. Just last month, Solid Concepts announced it had manufactured the world's first 3D printed metal gun.
This is the powder. This is actually what starts out in the machine. So this is just, you can see it's basically just loose powder like sand, and this is what levels out in the machine, and then the parts, the geometries are sliced in very thin layers, and then those layers are melted one layer at a time.
The process involves a high-powered laser that fuses small particles into a three-dimensional shape. In response, some gun control advocates have voiced concern that this technology could get into the hands of the wrong people.
I understand the concerns. I don't think they're all that, well-founded, because quite frankly, the cost and the experience level to actually use these to print a firearm, criminals would be much smarter if they would just go out and buy these off the street.
Indeed, right now, these are not the most accessible of printers. Industrial-sized 3D replicators equipped enough to print metal guns can carry a price tag ranging from $600,000 to $1 million. But last week, Michigan Technological University announced it had developed a new low-cost 3D metal printer totaling $1,500. This shift to 3D printers mimics the technological transition we saw happen years ago when the single-bullet rifle evolved into the high-powered semi-automatic. So the question on the minds of many people is, how do you regulate a technology that's only becoming cheaper and more accessible by the day?